Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Natasha Kirchak here with ILTV's morning briefing. This evening, Israel is set to announce the final yet unofficial results of Monday's elections. And so far, the numbers seem to be clear. Over 99% of the votes have been counted, and like we reported yesterday, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's Likud party has won 36 seats, while his main opposition, Blue and White, has won 33. But it looks like Israel is still facing a political deadlock, because after adding up all of the seats, the right-wing bloc only has 58 and the left-wing bloc only has 55, meaning that both do not pass the threshold of 61 seats to form a government coalition. Still, the final results of the election will only be made official next Monday. As of now, on the right, the ultra-Orthodox parties of Shas and the United Torah Judaism have 9 and 7 seats respectively, and Yamina has 6 seats. On the left, the Joint Arab List has won an unprecedented 15 seats, and Labor Gesher Meretz has won 7. Finally, Avigdor Lieberman's Yisrael Beitenu party, which refuses to sit with either side for now, has 7 seats. This means that the right-wing bloc is now 3 seats away from hitting the 61-seat minimum to form a coalition, which is why Likud says it's planning to woo over lawmakers from across the aisle to join a Netanyahu-led government and avert a 4th round of elections. So far, potential defectors have included Blue and White Knesset member Meirav Cohen, who says she was approached and offered the pensioners or welfare portfolio, but turned it down. Labor Gesher Meretz MK Orly Levy Abkassis says reports that she will be moving over to the right are completely false, which leaves the Israeli public unclear as to who Likud will be able to convince to join their right-wing bloc. And it begs the question, is Israel headed to 4th elections, or will the country finally see a unity government take form? Coronavirus panic is taking over Israel as the health ministry increases its orders to prevent the spread of the disease in Israel. Thousands of Israelis are finding themselves in quarantine or unable to work. So who's being affected? Well, all Israelis who have returned to Israel from France, Germany, Spain, Austria, and Switzerland are required to enter self-quarantine for 14 days. And that decision applies to all of those who have come from these EU countries within the last 14 days as well. Foreigners who have been in most Asian countries or Iraq, Syria, or Lebanon in the 14 days before their arrival to Israel will not be allowed in. Israel is now banning gatherings of over 5,000 people, which means that all of the major concerts, parties, and parades for the upcoming Purim holiday are canceled. And anyone who's been abroad over the last 2 weeks is also banned from any gathering of 100 people or more. The health ministry is even urging Israelis to avoid all physical contact, including shaking hands and kissing Jewish mezuzot. Israel's taking more severe precaution against the spread of the coronavirus than other countries, but is facing criticism even from its own officials. Government authorities are lambasting the strict restrictions as placing the country's economy in jeopardy. An estimated 70,000 Israelis are now in self-quarantine. And so far, over 94,000 people have been infected with the coronavirus worldwide. 3,200 people have died. But China claims there has been a slowdown in new cases out of their country. Still, health officials are concerned by the rather high death rate of those with the virus, claiming that about 3.4% of those with the disease have passed away, whereas the common seasonal flu generally kills far fewer than 1%. The Israeli army has just demolished the homes of 2 suspected terrorists who killed 17-year-old Israeli Rina Shnerb in a bombing attack near the West Bank settlement of Dolev. Large bulldozers have torn down the homes of Yassan Majamas and Walid Hanatshe in the West Bank. Their families have appealed the army's plans to destroy their homes, and riots broke out during the demolitions, which come just 2 weeks after the High Court of Justice rejected their petitions. The Israeli government insists that home demolitions are an effective means of deterring future terror attacks, but Palestinian rights groups allege that they're an unjust form of collective punishment. 17-year-old Rina Shnerb was killed back in August of 2019 when an explosive planted near Dolev was triggered remotely by a cell phone belonging to the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine terror group. Shnerb died almost immediately, and her father and brother were seriously injured in the attack. During an investigation into the assault afterwards, Israeli security forces uncovered a large network of PFLP operatives who were allegedly planning to carry out other significant attacks against Israelis in the future. Around 50 members of the network have been arrested by the IDF so far. That's all for now. I'm Natasha Kirchak, and see you later with our main daily broadcast.